There we are, ladies and gentlemen. 7 p.m. Thursday. We are live. Got myself, Shane Jones, and Shiloh Chappelle there on the left, and Miss Jessica in the middle, and John Fulmer on the right there. They are live from Jordan Lake. Jordan Lake down in Wetumpka, Alabama. They're pre-fishing for the Alabama Crappie Masters. They're down there getting sunburnt and wind burnt. And y'all said you've been catching some fish, haven't you? Y'all been catching a few, you said?
Yeah, no, we beating on fish. It's just not the quality we want.
I understand. I was catching a bunch for the church fish fry, you said.
No, what we said was, like, you have certain fishing days, you're like, oh, man, we're catching some quality.
Oh, yeah.
And then certain days you have a, like, oh, we're finna catch a bunch of fish for the church fish fry.
Yeah.
And that's,
there you go. That's good. We're going to get about 15, 20 people on here. I'm going to make a little thank our sponsors for the show. And we're going to get in some questions and talk to John and Shiloh and Jessica about they've been pre-fishing. We got a few more people. We're going to go ahead and go through all this stuff and thank our sponsors. I appreciate everybody tuning in. We got 19. We're fixing to get 20. And then we're there's 24 right there, guys. Let's thank our sponsors and let's get into this thing. Let me get going here. Here we go. CT Ward Power Sports, Camden, Alabama. Taylor and Jessica Ward, their Excel Bay dealer, the Stalker side console, center console, Hurricane deck boats, Godfrey pontoons, and they sell Hustler Zero turns. You see them on the left. Fine people. If you're interested in Excel aluminum boat or center console or side console boat, give them a holler, man. They're great folks. They also serve service Mercury and Yamaha outboards and change the oil and do all that service work. And if you're ever around Camden, just stop in and see them. They're great folks, man. Great folks. Here we go, Mr. Ray Morris. He's changing the name of this thing, guys, to Lay Lake Sunset Cabin because people that really don't associate with Lay Lake. Good guy. I want you to look at this view while I'm talking about it right here.
Hey,
sunset view right there. Beautiful. What were you saying, John?
I'd like to go into that just a little bit.
Yeah, John, let's talk about it a little bit because you stayed there.
Yeah, I've stayed at Ray's place there.
Yeah.
All right. So what Ray has there, he's got a home and it has a guest home.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got it listed, like an Airbnb. And it is the prettiest sunset that there is
right there
on Lay Lake. And Ray is he'll help you any way he can. He'll you know what I'm saying? He'll work with you.
His number's right there, guys.
Yeah, call Ray if you want to stay on Lay Lake and go fishing. And good thing about it, Ray can throw you a few crappie tips if you want to go crappie fishing.
Exactly. He catches a lot of fish. Ray does, guys. Hey,
he's getting good at it. Yeah. Big Ray. Now, if he looks like Sasquatch, we call him Sasquatch for a reason. There's a lot of him. 6'8" Sasquatch.
But he's got a nice place there, guys. If you summer vacations, weekend trips, you got a bass tournament down there at Lay Lake, your high school kid tournament or whatever, you want to stay on the lake, hey, right there. It's a beautiful view. If I'll post a link in the comments here in a little bit, and you can see all the pictures, guys.
You won't get a better price, I should say, on renting his.
No, was it $150?
You rent his guest house. I think it's $150 a night,
right? And
then you got your cleaning fee, but you ain't gonna beat that.
No, you can't get a hotel. And you ain't got to worry about your electronics or your boat or nothing. You stay in a hotel, you got to worry about everything, putting your rods up and stuff. So he's one of our sponsors, Lay Lake Sunset Cabins, the name of his place. He's changing the name of it, guys. That's his number right there, 850-736-6964. I want to thank Ray. It's one of the sponsors. He's a good dude, man. Let's go through old D. Robertson. Alpha Plumbing, they're one of our sponsors. Hey, you got any? He services around the Birmingham area here, Gardendale, all up and down the river, man. He's a great guy. He's a local guy. You call him all your plumbing needs. Good fella.
No, you got it now.
Got a new sponsor here, guys. Tommy Layton. I ate lunch with him the other day. Alabama Metal Roofing Supply. Great guy, nice guy. We had a great lunch. He is a metal supplier. Alabama Metal Roofing Supply is located in Birmingham. Serves most of all North Alabama and Central Alabama. Metal roofing, accessories, residential, commercial building, post frame buildings, and trusses. Guys, you need any metal or any stuff for barn dominiums, or man, he does a lot of stuff. These people that's got these awnings that have bent posts and stuff, they deliver. If you don't know a lot about Alabama Metal Supply, give them a call. There's Tommy Layton's number, 205-565-4959. I want to thank him for sure. Let's get in the show, guys. Let's see how many comments we got here. Let's see.
Shane, what we giving away this week?
We're giving away. Oh, yeah. I forgot about that. Y'all see this new hat right here?
How many people got on? Hold on. How many people got on?
We got 52. Y'all see this little pretty blue hat right here?
Let's give it another 5 minutes before we talk about what we're going to give away.
Okay, let's give it. They got 53. We'll make them get on there about 60.
Oh, yeah. Hey, we're going to put Tim. We're going to get Tim Pentecost. He's just going to like kind of squat here in the background.
That's fine. Get him in there.
No, Tim just got here, but so if you hear somebody come in, it's Tim Pentecost.
Let's see. Larry's wanting to know. He's on YouTube. Thank you, Larry, for tuning in. He said, "Hi, everyone. How was the tournament on Jordan?" The tournament's not till this weekend. They're just pre-fishing, Larry. He said he was away in Maryland visiting. The tournament this weekend on Jordan. Of course, Shiloh, Jessica, and John's fishing it. Tim Pentecost is fishing with Shiloh. A bunch of our buddies are down there. They're pre-fishing. They said they're catching a lot of fish, not a lot of size. They're having fun. So, hey, it's going to be a good tournament. What do you think's going to win it, Johnny? What do you think, Shiloh?
Don't ask me.
Come here, bud.
John's pro down here.
Yeah, shit.
Here you
What's up, buddy? We got Tim in the house. He just got
Tim
here.
Pentecost. He's in there. See, this Arrigo Outdoor Adventures. He said he's headed to Wise Lake. Come on in there, Tim.
Hey, Tim, come in and wave.
Hey. You live, Timmy. Come on in there, buddy. Hey, there's Tim Pentecost. He's a guide on Wise Lake, guys.
Yeah.
Give him a call. Look him up on
Good
Facebook.
dude. Hey, if you want to catch a pile of fish on Wise Lake, Tim will get you tuned up.
That's what's fun.
Tim's jumping in here like you just
there you go.
showed
Slide
up.
on up there, Tim. Hey, looky here. This guy said he's headed to Wise Lake. Arrigo Outdoors said he'll be up there for a week of crappie fishing. He ought to hit it just right, shouldn't he, Tim?
Should. We had they haven't even spawned yet. They're starting.
Anytime.
Okay. There's your tip, Arrigo Outdoors. Tim said they hadn't spawned yet, so hey, you know what to do there. You knew what to do.
You got some open dates, Tim?
I don't till probably the third week of April.
Third week of
April.
All right. So if you're planning to come up to Wise, which I'm sure Tim can hook you up with another guy, but Shiloh.
Yeah.
Shiloh.
I forgot. Hey, we did
Shiloh's
forget
up
to
there
mention that
busting
Shiloh.
wigs.
That fella right there on the left, he's starting to guide up there. He's been catching some big ones on that main lake. So give Shiloh. Like I said, I should have tagged him in here. I forgot he was going to be up there with John, and I'll tag him in here. But maybe he'll comment, guys, and you'll see him in the comments here later on this evening. And you can get a hold of Shiloh. He's going to be guiding some. Got some open dates up there. Go get that long rod and go catch some big whitefish out there on the river.
We can do it with a short rod too.
That's right. Yeah, guys. These two guys right here, Tim in the back and Shiloh, they're guiding up there at Wise Lake. So, are you doing any guiding on Gunnersville, Shiloh, or what?
Not yet. I'm just doing Weiss and Neely Henry till I get my captain's license. Then I'll start
I
venturing
got you. Yeah, you get on that Navico waterway. That's right.
Tim, you got on anywhere?
No,
not
just
yet.
good for. I mean, just Neely or Weiss.
Okay. Well, let's talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, let's talk about
People get confused about that. You got to have your 6-pack license. I think it is.
Yeah, you got it.
On Tennessee River.
It's Tennessee River since navigable.
right. Anything navigable to the ocean, anywhere barges travel, basically.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, anywhere. Since they have barge traffic, you have to have that 6-pack, which is enforced by the Coast Guard.
That's correct. That is correct, and that's good for the ocean and everything. So you could carry up to 6 people out in the ocean also if you was doing that. Yep. We got 52 people told. Holden Higgs, he's tuned in. You know him there, Johnny.
Yeah.
He's saying if the fish are a little skinny, it look like they have laid the eggs and you clean them and they have some eggs and they're not super big. Have they laid some of the eggs or do they do it all at once?
They more than likely they're going in and laid and they're going to absorb or keep. I mean, I catch them in July with
Oh
eggs.
yeah. Those sacks.
They'll-
They'll
They'll
be
either
flat.
absorb the eggs or hold them for next year. Don't dare think that they're fixing to go in with that little bitty bit. That's what happens is it's that they didn't let them all out, and it just didn't work out. I mean, heck, even some of the ones I think are laid out still have a little bit of a pocket in there.
And I noticed it today. Some of the ones that you could tell that they were fatter, but they've laid most of their eggs. They may still have a little bit in there, but they're just going to go out there in that deeper water, their summer pattern, just absorb it. And just
Right. Well, the eggs start developing so early in the fall. People think, but it takes a while for those eggs to develop, and it also stays with them for a while. Like you said, I've caught them in June and July, but have some the size of your pinky. Their little sack be sitting there, but
that be the tail ends of what they're absorbing too. Because they'll start producing that new egg sack probably end of September, early October. That's when you'll start seeing it develop.
Hey,
yeah.
Shane, we got to say thank you to Tim Pentecost because he didn't expect to walk into the Airbnb.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, he walked right into the live. So
all right, so he walks into the Airbnb and we're doing this, and he just sits, he grabs him a chair and just sits down.
hey,
and starts
he can
talking.
talk crappie with anybody. Heck, he fits right in. Hey, he does. He's a great guy. Like I said, guys, he guides on Weiss Lake. So Tim Pentecost, you can look him up on Facebook, man, and you can message him. I've called him about my trolling motor 2 or 3 times when I first got it, my Garmin, and he helped me out a lot. They actually sent me a new board for mine, Tim.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, they did. My power button was sticking, and they sent me a new board. So
Yeah,
I
they
got
had
that
a
resolved.
problem with the power button sticking for a while.
yeah, well, I guess when they stay in a box for so long.
Yeah.
Let's see, Roger Smith, guys.
I've
What do
been
y'all go?
hit with a hammer.
Yeah.
Hey, it was sticking. I've enjoyed it since then, though. Roger said, guys, what are y'all's go-to plastic? I know the Bobby Garland does hold up. What's y'all's thoughts?
I'm gonna let Shiloh and Tim talk about plastics. They got a good
Yeah, y'all talk about
with
plastic
the guys
shows,
they work
guys.
with.
Like my go-to still today, that baby shad profile, and I'm using it's called Small Fry from Crappie Monster.
Right.
The margarita color down here, these clear lakes like Jordan, the tail ends of the Coosa River, even Gunnersville. It's called Margarita. It's got that baby shad color, that shad look to it. That's really, when I go to plastic, that's about it. A lot of guys.
Pretty tough bait. Is it a pretty tough bait, Charlotte?
It is. It'll hold up 10 to 12 fish and switch it out. So a lot of people don't know it, but I've been using barbless jigs for the last year.
Oh,
So that bait never actually rips. It just slides down. I just got to slide it right back up. It's still good. So I can get even more fish out of it because it's not ripping.
gotcha. What about you, Tim? What
There's
plastic
dirt
you
pulled
using nowadays?
Or pull down.
Same thing. We
You use the same thing, Tim. So that's a monster. It's what do you
Small
call it?
fry.
A margarita color, but it's a shad profile.
Yeah.
I got
They
you.
call it small fry, but it's the same. It's that shad profile, the same
I
baby.
got you. I know Bobby Garland. I mean, to be honest with you, Roger, their baits are so soft. Some of them. Somebody told me they make some in Guatemala and some. I don't know, but some of those are so soft. I don't know where they're making them nowadays.
You're lucky to get 2 fish out of a Garland anymore.
You damn right.
Lucky.
Terrible.
They're made in Honduras. They was made in Guatemala, but now.
Yeah, I mean, I used to fish with them, and they're still great baits. Don't get me wrong, but when you get to firing fish up, they start pulling down.
When
Man,
you beat on them,
Yeah.
when you beating on them, that's not what you want to deal with.
they may make some tougher baits, but all the ones I have are, I just try to be real about stuff that I know that I've got, and I've got tons of Bobby Garland baits, but I mean, they make a lot of tougher baits. I got some from Limits Tackle today, the ones that John and I used last week. You can't hardly get a hook to go through them things. They're strong.
You catch 30 back on one.
It's awesome.
Yeah, well, the one Shane's talking about from Limits, you can catch a 30 pack on one plastic.
Oh yeah, I still got one on my rod.
Now, I won't say this here, and most people won't talk about this before a tournament, but it ain't gonna hurt my feelings. The fish are so aggravating to catch. Tim got a first-hand experience several times here. He's like, golly, what's wrong with these fish? They got a different attitude, but that little Texas avocado,
Yeah.
it's only that's big bite baits. It's only
Yep.
1.5 inches long.
Is that like a green? Is that a chartreuse and black, or what is it?
I'm half colorblind. I call it yellow and black with a little bit of red flake in it. But
I've seen them. I've used them before.
Yeah, that rascal right there. Anywhere you go in the country, right there, catch fish.
So that's a big bite, mate. There, yeah, right.
Yeah, but it's got a smaller little dinky looking little tail on it.
I seen that little. Okay, I got you. It's real skinny.
Yeah. But I love big bite baits, but I would like to give a shout out to old Steve at Limits Tackle.
Yeah, he makes some good stuff. That's the thing about this show, guys. We're not particular to one bait or whatever. Hey, whoever supports Shiloh and Tim and John and Jessica, and hey, we're gonna spread it out. And people, you need to buy different jigs, guys. You don't ever know. You may fall in love with a certain jig and catch them. All of them catch fish. Don't get me wrong, but like John said, when you're whipping on them fish in a brush pile and your jig keeps sliding down, and you fire those, especially blackfish up, you're gonna have a hard time. You know, you don't want to be changing baits and have to put a new bait on when you got them fired up.
That's right.
At all. Let's see what other questions we got we might have missed.
What about the giveaway?
Oh yeah, we got 52 people. We're going right there, fellas. CrappieKast Live. I've got some blue hats. I've got several more blue ones. The green ones went pretty quick. I'm gonna give away 2 hats. I guess I'm just gonna, if you randomly ask a question, I'm gonna scroll up and down on this thing and close my eyes and point. Whoever it lands on, you win in the hat. I'm gonna do 2 of them. I'm gonna do 2 hats in the giveaway, and then I may give away some bonehead baits too. I got plenty of them.
Shane, we can put them in a randomizer.
That's fine. Whatever's fair. Hey, we will.
Yeah.
I've got 2 hats, and hey, whoever wins, I'll be getting your address, and I'll go mail them out. But these are blue. These are Richardson hats. They're really good, tough hats.
So last week we did a giveaway.
That's right.
For who had the winning person on the tournament last weekend and the closest to the weight.
That's right.
And Taylor Bryant, that rascal, you can't nail it any closer to what he did.
No, he did. He had, what was it?
He was within 1/100th of a pound of Hayden's weight.
That was true.
And so I got lucky. He lived up by Tim. Tim had the rod. All right, so Tim's also sponsored by Outlaw Cracker Poles.
Right.
And Tim keeps a pretty good little stock at his house. And Taylor lived up by Tim, and we got to talking. I said, "You know Tim Pentecost?" He said, "Oh yeah, he lives close to me." I said, "Well, hey,
that worked out great then.
If it or not,
he'll have his rod. Hey, he'll have his rod next week then. That's good. Congratulations, Taylor. That's awesome."
Do you know what he said? Tim said he pulled up in the yard and said, "I'm here to get the rod." I'm like, "Okay."
That's awesome. Hey, Terrell asking how much these hats are. They're $20, Terrell. They're $20. Like I said, they've got 22,000 stitches in those things. That is a
appropriate behavior.
It's a tough hat. So if you're interested, just message with Terrell. I'll get you hooked up, man. Let's see. Hey, Byron, I just announced, man, how you can get a hat. I'm sorry, buddy. He was asking me. Just message me, Byron. I'll get you a hat.
We're missing Patrick Stone. We didn't get to have fried rabbit tonight.
Oh yeah, I forgot Patrick was on the show with us a few weeks ago. Where is he? Where's he up north?
He's back up north.
Instead,
okay. John's been slaving over that grill. He's got pork chops made.
Oh man, that's
got pork chops, sausage, yeah.
That's
I
awesome.
was wondering because the last time I was here, I remember we had to drive around the world and find something to eat.
Yeah, we got to cover this time.
Oh yeah, let's see. Somebody else got some more questions here. Ray's on here. Taylor and Jessica Ward's on here. Let's see.
Taylor and Jessica, I'm sorry. It's all my fault. I've got y'all's order for Outlaw Crappie Poles. I've just got to send it in and get y'all in contact with Amos, and we'll close the link on that. It's my fault. We're looking forward to having y'all at your boat dealership with the Outlaw Crappie Poles. So please don't think I have forgotten about y'all.
Yeah, let's see. Hey, Holden wants to know how many pounds it's going to take for the tournament. They want to know. You can't guess.
You can ask that guy.
The guy you need to ask his name is Aaron Night.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yes.
Ron. Nice.
Aaron, he's got a Ranger,
Black Ranger.
Yeah,
He's got
Mercury on the back of
Mercury
it.
on the back.
Yeah,
It's gonna have one seat up front.
one seat up front. Yeah,
Yeah, he's fishing solo. You're right.
and his hat will be sitting up like
This is
this,
Aaron.
like this.
Yeah, that's right. Hey, he does wear his hat like that. Hey, we love old Aaron. Hey,
Yeah,
he's right
he's
there.
our buddy.
Y'all in his backyard though, so I don't know what it'd take. You think it's gonna take 11, 12 pounds? What do you think?
Me and Shiloh, we sat on the
Just
porch
guess
this afternoon shooting the crap while we were cooking those pork chops. And I mean, if you get you a 2 pound fish and a 190 in there, and you throw some 140, 150 in the mix, you gonna cast a check.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That's awesome. That's good. I figured it'd take 11, 12, like you said, 11, something, 10, 11. I don't know whatever y'all figuring.
But I'm just saying what your day would look like. I don't add it up.
And with everything that's coming in this Saturday, Thursday, you could be lucky to catch 7 fish.
Yeah, it might flip the script.
It could with all this. I mean, we got a ton of rain coming in.
Yeah, you got a bunch of rain. I hope you don't get a bunch on y'all because I'm headed to Lake Talcott, Florida tomorrow. Hopefully,
We've been fortunate today not to have the rain that we were already supposed to have.
Right.
Today, but I mean, there's no telling what could happen if more rain were to come in.
It's there. All right, so there's a lot of debris already in the river,
right?
and then certain parts of it already muddy. So we don't know, what it's going to be like. But
That's right.
Well,
Charlie's. I know Shiloh's answer to this. He wants to know: do y'all use mostly hair jig or plastic? I know.
What is it? Moon.
I know what he uses. He spilled the beans last time.
Well, I'm probably 80-20, 80% hair jig, and then 20% plastics. When you get down here on these clear lakes, these fish want something that's going to look like a shad, so that plastic's going to give more of that flutter.
Right.
But if I can get on Weiss or Neely Henry in that muddy water, I'm going to use a hair jig every chance I get.
Yeah. What color did you tell me? It was a pink something you told me? It was
It's pink moon, so it's actually got a pink head, pink body, and a green tail. That I use it.
Who makes that jig for you? Because you Pop Jig. That's right. That's who makes it.
I'm not convinced he didn't have that like tattooed somewhere on his body.
If you look at my boat, 90% of the time, what's on my long rod is that pink jig. And everybody they don't even ask me what I use anymore. They're like, I know you're using pink and green, so it's worked everywhere.
That's awesome.
Everywhere but Florida.
Right.
Florida want natural.
I don't think so. Yeah, y'all won at St. John's. You didn't use it down there, right? I remember you.
What's that?
Y'all won at St. John's, so you said you didn't use it down there, huh?
No, I used a little bitty green jig that looks like a grass shrimp, but
I got you.
Still hair. I still used hair down there.
I got you. Gotcha. Oh, Byron said he's headed to Talcott tomorrow. I'll have to hit him up. Good. Maybe he can tell me where some fish are. Let's see. Blake said, I just got an outlaw pole from one of Tim's stores in Gunnersville. Wondering how many different links there are. How many different links are there in outlaw rods, guys?
Hey, I'm gonna let Tim talk about this. Tim's been the Alabama outlaw guy.
Yeah, go ahead, Tim. Slide on up here.
I mean, he knows all about everything.
That's Jeff's rod repair in Gunnersville.
Okay.
But he got them from. But that's they have a 5.8, a 6.8, a 7.2, a 10-foot classic, a 10-foot Pro SE, a 11-foot Pro SE, and then everything above that's the Pro Series. It's 12, 14, and 15.6.
But time out. You have the Fat Boy Special.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the one.
And that's cut off at 5 foot. That's
5 foot. That's one you used when me and you went the other day.
Yep, I love it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Shiloh hates those short poles.
If you blow 7 foot, I'm pretty much just gonna throw it in the lake and leave it where it's at.
Really?
Yeah, I can't use anything short.
I told you I had an electronics trip with a guy, and he was struggling casting, just struggling. And I was like, man, I was trying to work with him, and I brung that outlaw, that 14-foot rod, John. I just got one, And he whipped that thing out and pitched it right on that crappie's head. I said, what the crap? How can you do that? He said, I don't know. It just feels better. So he needless to say, he took my rod from me. He bought it before I could even. He basically told me he was buying it. So
There's guys I know that cast a 10
Just
foot.
now got a few of them.
Tim said he's never even used the 5-footer.
yeah, we was trying to abuse it in that video. If you ever put it out,
I'm sorry. All right. I promise this next week we're putting the video out.
hey, that
Probably
video,
might be
John and I
2 videos.
video,
It was
guys,
like the
hey,
most
we were both
epic
flipping.
beatdown. Yeah.
we were beating on him pretty good.
I was flipping 2.
Hey, Shiloh, you can go first. You can answer this.
Yeah, they're 20.
He's wanting to know what pound test line to use and what brand of lines. What brand of line to use, Shiloh?
K9. Well, it depends. If I'm fishing muddy water, well, I've almost gone away from braid completely. I've been running 14-pound fluorocarbon as much as I can. When casting, I'm using 6, and K9 doesn't make a 4-pound. I'll use line, but most of the time, K9 14 on my long rods.
I got you. What you using, Tim? What kind of line you using, bud?
I use mainly just 6-pound K9 high vis.
Got you.
And, I use 12-pound high vis fluoro. I hardly use any braid.
Right. John uses braid. Some. You still casting braid, don't you, John?
Yeah, I use the K9 braid for casting. Now on the fluoro, I don't. I use Seaguar 15 on the fluoro. I did 5 pound. Yeah, the 5-pound craft braid on the in K9. But I just found that on those long poles, you start getting those wraps at the end of the pole. Which all you got to do is just take that pole and just fling it out the side.
Hey, John showed me that trick.
There, and it'll come loose.
John
And
showed me
instead
that
of going,
trick the other day.
Is it left? Is it right? Is it left? Just throw it out the side and start popping it. Yeah.
Smack the surface of the water with it.
That's that little trick you showed me the other day with a line wrapped around the rod. You got my hook, and I just pulled the loop. That was neat. I wish I could show people that. What he's talking about is, I got a screwdriver here. That line, that braid will loop around. And it's so tight, you can't get anything in it. I just took my hook, pulled the loop, and slid it over the end of the eye. And it's because when it jumps back over it, and that braid's real bad about doing. That's the only aggravating thing about it.
Little tips like that for somebody that's been doing it for a while will keep you from losing your mind.
Yeah, because you'll go to shoot it, guys, or cast it, and it loops over the rod and cinches down on it. And you can take that hook and pull that loop and slide it over the end of your rod.
That braid will
tie knot.
The braid will basically do like a double.
Like almost a slip knot.
Overdo it too.
Yeah.
So I said, just take your hook and go down the shaft of the rod, just ease it out, and then ease it over the eye of the rod, and then it's you know what I'm saying. You're not doing it with your eyes and your fingers.
Yeah.
There's no way.
Yeah.
No,
Here you go.
yeah. Tim said he just cut it off.
Exactly. Hey, that's what I've been doing, Tim. I'll be like, man, crap. Go ahead and fish.
People I got
I'm
today,
working on it.
they were back there trying to get knots undone. I said, just cut it.
Cut
Just
it.
cut it. I can tie it faster than you.
Hey, in that video, Tim, that me and John filmed, I'm so used to sitting on the left side. I have my rod pointed over here like this, and I'm watching John fish. He sets the hook, and it messes it all up.
Well, whenever I put the video out, Jessica and I normally edit the videos together. We've been slacking, but Shane's talking about it's the first fish of the damn day, and he got a hole all over here, and I set the hook.
I'm just looking. I'm over my rod.
This is a hell of a damn note. We're supposed to know what we're doing, and we
First fish, y'all. Hey, look, he sets the hook. I'm like, my bad, John. So anyway, needless to say, John said, I'll get it. He's doing it. And you think his son's creek with him because I'm sitting there tangled all up. And I said, hell, the fish is still on here. So I'll pull it in my hand. It ends up being a 2-pound fish.
he ham out a 2-pounder in the boat.
I've had 2 rods tangled up before with customers on the boat trying to get one out, and they see the tip of that other rod, and they set the hook with my hand.
Hey, how long you been guiding, Tim? How long you been guiding up at Whiteside?
About 3 years.
3 years.
Regular, okay. Yeah, I did some before that. I would help other guys before that.
Gotcha.
Hey, I got an awesome question for Tim. I love Tim. People don't know Tim. Whenever you meet him, he's always smiling. He's always
smiling back there now.
He's gonna be. Yeah, Justin said when he comes in, he's gonna be smiling. All right, so Tim. All right, you come in and you run through some hybrids. and you got all them poles out. What do you do after all that's done?
Oh Lord.
You talking about when you get?
Yeah, you come through a school of hybrids.
Oh yeah.
He's talking about
You
trolling,
got
guys.
4 poles. You got 4 poles going 8 different ways, and
You just cut them off.
it's cut.
I can tell.
That's awesome.
Somebody
Come
That's
on,
awesome.
Wyatt.
Let's see. Hey, guys. Tommy's got a good question. What advice?
Uh-oh.
Somebody want to see the ghost.
The ghost?
Who is, somebody's asking to see what is it? What are they saying?
Oh, it's Tim's face. Nicholas is.
Oh, they want to see what they probably want to see him to steal his spot. So no, they see him on the lake and know who he is.
Hey, Tommy's got a great question here, guys. He wants we get this question about every show, and everybody, since we got Tim on here, he's been fishing a long time along with you guys. What advice do you have for someone fishing for crappie if you don't have a live scope or electronics?
In the springtime, I would long line, or I would spider rig any other time. It's the best way to find them. Mark brush piles with a marker. Throw out a buoy
Amen.
on the brush pile.
Are they saying they don't have a live scope, or they
Or
have
electronic,
side images?
just basically, are you just looking for physical, like stuff you can visually see, or
No,
Bro-
not on Weiss Lake in the summertime. In the summertime or fall or anything, you're looking for stumps or brush piles or trees, and you're gonna get hung up without live scope. It's just part of it. But
Now, I will say this on Tim's behalf. I've been to Weiss before and been able to shine my live scope and not be able to see a fish. That'd be like schools of fish so long that you can't get to the end of them.
right? That place
They
is
get
fertile.
together.
Yeah.
But
you
like-
Little River.
I wasn't say that. You said it.
They're going anyway.
Yeah.
Everybody knows about them fish.
Yeah, but guys, if you've got side imaging and down imaging, you still can.
Oh, you're in the game, man. If you got any electronics at all, you're in the game.
You mark something on side imaging, coming over down imaging, throw that buoy,
I still run 2D sonar.
and
I like 2D as well as anything.
it gives you a hotter image.
Well, a lot of
See the
times you
art.
can't see those fish
On DI.
Sometimes you can't see the fish on them.
Yeah, get the
Yeah.
shadow.
Yeah.
If you're not getting the shadows, you're not getting a true image.
Right.
Right. Oh, Jim Nelson's telling us he said the Alabama River's been messed up for weeks, and it has. He said he's catching some in the creeks. He's new to live scope, so he's been just using jig and live scope only. He said thanks to all us that putting that transducer on the trolling motor, the best thing he's done. He's actually learning how to run that thing. So
Good deal.
that's
Alabama
awesome.
River's always messed up.
I gotta tell a story about the Alabama River.
What's
Everybody
that?
still wonders how bad everybody does.
Yeah. So I guess
I was not part of this.
no, Shallow was not a part of this. But I got to tell a funny story.
Go ahead, tell it, Don.
All right, so Alabama River. Anybody's ever tournament fish before, you want to make your 7. And when we say make your 7, you want to catch your first 7 fish. That way you got 7 to go weigh in. And you're not showing up like Jessica and I did, wasn't less than 7. So
I weighed in a whopping 3 that day.
yeah, so Tim had found a place that we had found. And Jessica and I, is more me. I thought I could outrun Tim by water and him go put in by land and run to the spot. So I put in there where we had our live oil check. And we're running.
Okay, it was freezing.
Oh, yeah, it was freezing.
Freezing.
It was windy and cold. I remember this.
Fresh out of a tornado.
Yeah, fresh out of a tornado. We had on motorcycle helmets. And so I was like, I can beat Tim's ass there if I go by water. And so Tim, he's running every red light, every stop sign, everything. Hey, he's going, son, to get to beat us to put in. And we go by water. And we run in the dark about 55, 50 miles an hour from where we had our thing. Well, we pull in there. There's weights hitting the bank still. And I said, somebody's going to beat us in here. I go, lo and behold. I'm trying to sound like
he must have threw his boat in.
Tim was already parked on my spot.
I remember that.
4 boats.
Four boats. He said 4 boats came in there, and once you got like a plan to make your 7, well, we didn't do right after that. We just went to hell in a handbasket after that. But
Yeah, that was a rough tournament, guys. That for
it
me it was too.
But
It was a rough tournament.
Tim beat us there. But I'm always gonna give him. I guess from now until I know him forever, I'm gonna give him a hard time about that one. But he just waved at us.
Somebody was asking
I
about
didn't even know that was you.
Yeah, he said I didn't know it was y'all. I'm like,
I didn't even know it was you. Come in there.
here it is. Michael
gonna play with
Smith is asking a question. He said, line scope question. Do you use forward mode more than you do perspective mode? I don't use perspective at all. Do y'all use perspective mode at all?
Yeah, forward.
When I get in shallow water, I run them both. I'm running two.
Do you run them both? You got 2 transducers shallow?
Yeah,
Okay.
I've got 2 34s. I'll run one in perspective, one in forward, just so I can see. I have a live image 180 degrees out in front of me.
We only use forward, but we have our front hummingbird hooked to our back hummingbird transducer wise. So if we come by something that we see that's out the back of the boat, we can see it up front and spin back around and look at it. But like the big fish Jessica called out at Grenada, I mean, we run that front unit. I mean, we chase that fish from 8 feet down to 3.5 feet, almost 3 feet before she caught it. So you can do. I understand people won't run the perspective mode to get that cone, that wide cone, and on a brim bed, that thing is bad to the bone.
Yeah, when I run perspective, I'm not using it to chase fish. I'm using it to look for stumps, stake beds, lay down.
Or you know, like you said, you might not pan over far enough, and there might be a stump over here at 2 o'clock.
Yeah,
you know.
and I'm really only using it in shallow water. And when I see that over there, I'm not going to use perspective to go catch that fish. I'm going to use my forward mode to catch it.
Because it is tough to get dialed in on perspective.
And that associates with this question. Nobody hardly uses Humminbird 360 now because like a perspective mode. So I mean, is anybody using that anymore?
Yeah, there's a lot of 360 for sale.
Yeah, a lot of people.
If you got one for sale, holler at me. Because we have people at the boat dealership every day looking for a 360. So if you get ready to sell your 360, let us know.
I got 126.
A lot of your trollers still use those things. That's big on your trollers.
I just bought it.
Let's see if I'm missing any questions here.
But all jokes aside, guys, what I was trying to say is, if you've got, side image at the back of your boat, and you've got your front unit on your boat, when they're talking to each other, while you're at the front, you can do a half mount and a half side imaging up front, and you basically kind of got like a 360. You can see what the back of your boat's looking at. So if you come by a stump or something and the back of the boat sees it, you can swing around with that live scope and still come back and fish it.
Right.
So don't ever sell yourself short like that.
My only thing with that is, and I don't know if you've seen it, you may have, I turn my back transducers off so they're not pinging.
Okay.
So, I mean, there's times I'm catching fish 18 inches below the surface, and them fish feel that constant tick.
Mm-hmm.
So when I turn that off, I feel like they don't know I'm there as much because they're not having that transducer pinging off their head.
As long as you got a lot of wind, you're right. You're just using that cell phone.
I use it deep water.
Deep water.
Yeah, I've seen them lock jaw.
Yeah.
Because of it.
I think the scaleless fish are really the ones that are really starting to become like used to the ping. And
they're learning. I think those really big fish that have a big return, those big crappie, and you put that live scope on them and you leave it on them, they know it. They can feel that. I guarantee you.
That's why when you see them, you take it off of them and just kind of go at an angle.
In range.
And then
that's a good tip, Shiloh. Tell everybody what.
Mm-hmm.
Tell everybody what you're talking about there, Shiloh, if people with live scope, because
when you see that big fish out there 40, 50 feet, and you know he's there, he's not moving, and you flash him so you know he's there, you just take your transducer off of him or your trolling motor off of him, go up at an angle, and then turn right back on him to where he was when you
drop
get
on him,
and then drop on that fish.
If you
like
close, what he's saying though, if you're close enough to the bank, you can make a visual mark.
Mm-hmm.
On the bank, and you're like, all right, I know he's there, and I've already pinged him, and I know how far. So at that point, you might make a downwind adjustment or something like that. So
Yeah.
when you'll make your first approach on that fish and you have to throw the beam back to him, you want to make it perfect the first time.
Yeah, he has no idea you're there, other maybe a little bit of boat slap.
Right.
He doesn't know you're coming after him.
Because that people don't realize these guys are being super successful. Their first pitch is down their money.
Yeah, right.
Their
That's
money.
yeah, they're highly accurate because that's what they do all week long. You know, like you said,
Yeah.
They're really precise.
It's like here. If you booger up one of these Jordan fish, it's over with.
You're done.
You're done. Yeah, we can. What is Jim? I can answer this question for you, Jim. He said, "When the Alabama River messed up, where close by Canton will you recommend going?" The river, man. The river was messed up last Saturday, Jim. But Sunday, it was great. Sunday, it had fell back down. I found some fish. You know, I went to the Malpas and found some fish on some secondary stumps. What I'm saying is cover away from the bank. They're starting to get on some stake beds, Jim. But I would go in those sloughs. If you know where any stake beds are, you better start looking because those fish are getting set up. Where y'all catching y'all's fish as far as location, you know, without giving a lot away? You know, are they
Everywhere?
It really is everywhere.
I got you. Okay.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of like the butthole thing to say, but they are everywhere. Honestly, these fish they spawn, so
Yeah, they're done.
it's like shooting bird shot across a map. You just got to move.
I've caught them from the main lake all the way to the very back of the creek.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
They're in everywhere in between. There's no one spot.
Yeah, and shallow. When I watch shallow fishing, he's wide damn open. They ain't I mean, he's covered some water
Here, there, and gone.
Yeah, I don't move as fast as he does, and that's cool. But he's probably covered a lot more water than me, and he ain't been there as long as me.
I fished. I went in. I mean, I covered 2 smaller creeks and 2 of the bigger creeks on Jordan today in 8 hours.
Mhm.
And I mean, from the mouths all the way to the back, on both sides of the banks and up the middle. So I know what's in them, and they're from the mouth all the way to the back.
Well, I mean, you got to think they just got done spawning. They're trying to figure out what they want to do. Chase it, or orient shad or orient back to structure again.
And they don't really know what they want to do.
That's right. It's a 2-week chaos. Is basically we're in the 2-week chaos.
I believe it. I
Lock
believe
jaw.
it.
Mm-hmm.
Henry Collins, he's going to be on the Tom Bigby and the Black Warrior late tomorrow. I caught 32 Sunday right there on Tom Bigby there, Henry, on some stumps, man. If you can get out there on them stumps, 8, 10, 12 foot of water, they're there for sure. Let's see if I'm missing any questions here. I try to cover all these questions. We're doing pretty good. Let's see. Old Taylor Ward, he always comes with these questions. Let's see what he's got. He wants to know how much of your tactics changed from pre-live scope until now. In other words, are you fishing different than you were before? I mean,
100%.
Yeah, Taylor. Y'all go ahead and explain to him. Like I said, what you do now, it's totally different.
Ask Taylor if he ever sat in a tree stand deer hunting and he ever went spotlighting at night. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, that's the best acronym I could say for it or example. It's true. You go from wishing that there's some fish in a brush pile to there's fish in a brush pile and I got a spotlight on them. What are they gonna do? Who knows? But
that's right.
I mean, that is true. You ever can put all that together, Taylor, you'll have to go with me one day. I've been trying to talk him into going out with me. I think he's scared to go out with me because he might get of his old ways like old Big Daddy. You call old Big Daddy up right now, he's dialed in, buddy. He caught 16 Sunday. He's on fire. He's 70 years old and he is catching them and he is having fun.
Hey Shane, have you got the picture of the white squirrel here in the yard?
No, but I can't. Matter of fact, let me see if I can dig on it.
Albino squirrel.
We got all right. So here we're staying at this Airbnb.
Let me look it up.
We got a albino squirrel here in the yard. It's pretty cool just to see. Yeah, I mean I ain't never seen one in my life.
That's awesome. I'm gonna look right here. I got it. He posted it. So let me see if I can find it real quick.
That's all I do.
I'll share it with everybody. It's an awesome picture. There it is. I'm gonna screenshot it and I'll send it to myself here and I'll show everybody. It's a neat. So that's right there where you're staying, right, John?
It did right here, 15 yards off the porch. Yeah.
I was on the phone when you were trying to show it to Creek.
Yeah. Creek's in there. He's trying to be as best he can be right now in the bed.
Good.
Not
He's being a good boy.
Yeah.
Let me go back to it. I'll pull it up right here, guys. Let's see. Let's see if I can get it pulled up. This is the squirrel. This is the mascot down there.
The Jordan mascot, the white
Jordan
squirrel.
mascot. Look at here, guys. This is where John's
Creek.
staying right here.
Oh, there's Creek. On there.
Hey, Creek, how you doing, buddy? Let me see if I can get this picture. But yeah, here it is while we're talking about the squirrel. Y'all can see that white squirrel. Look at there. I know it's has nothing to do with crappie, but I've never seen an albino squirrel. I've seen black ones and white noses, and y'all check that thing out. Isn't that cool? That's awesome. But yeah, Taylor, to get back to your question, man. Everybody before live scope, we use side imaging, threw a buoy out, counted the jig down, got a bite. That's what we try to replicate every cast, Taylor, when we done that, or just fish brush piles, or like you dropping a minnow in there and stuff. But now there's no guessing when you have live scope if there's any fish there. I'm not saying they're going to bite, and people understand that fish are not necessarily going to bite, but it does change the game big time.
There's times they're on the bottom and you can't see them.
That's true, Tim.
There's a lot of sick bottom and they'll drop right down in it.
Yeah. Some of those little humps you're seeing are
fish.
like. So earlier we talked about Grenada making you a better fish or fishing.
Oh yeah.
So when you go to follow those fish around in that like shallow water and they go mud up, you can still see the hump in their back. And a lot of times you can put a jig on them and get them to come up out of that mud, but eventually they'll come up if you can slow the boat down and, like, you know what I'm saying?
Smash the brakes.
Yeah, stop or whatever. I try to tell everybody, Grenada is like the training ground for getting better.
Oh yeah.
It'll force you to fish different ways.
Out of your
And when you go in the fall, it really opens your eyes. You can go out in deep water in front of the dam and Carver's Point area, and you can cast at deep water fish, and then you can also go up way up the schooner, way up the Yellow Busha, and chase fish in 2.5, 3 foot of water.
Yeah.
So you have the best of both worlds, and I know last year the top 10 for the championship, half of them were out chasing fish in deep water, and half of them were up in 2 foot of water catching fish.
Right. There's so many different patterns there, like you were saying. But like I went there last June or July, and that we were fishing deep water. And I'll be honest with everybody, the first I got out there, dropped my live scope, I was like, look at these carp coming. And they go in the boat. They go in the boat shallow.
Well,
and
there's a pile of trash.
I get back to camp, and Eric goes, you catch any fish, Jones? I said, yeah, I caught a few. I said, man, I kept seeing these big carp. He said, you dummy, them ain't carp. I said, huh? So, hey, I went out there and I started throwing at them carp, started popping all them fish. I couldn't believe the size of them. I mean, I'll be honest with you, I was lost until I realized there were some carp out there. Don't get me wrong, but I was like some big crappie going on the boat too.
You come back home and then you are throwing at carp.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, you're exactly right. Yeah, you are. I throw at them anyway, because just for practice. Because if one hangs around that stump long, I'm gonna throw at him anyway.
Mm-hmm.
We got in that conversation last week. You have live scope and you see a fish, if he's hesitant, step by that stump, or he looks suspect, you better throw at him, because a lot of times it's a big crappie. We got talking about that last time. We sure did. Oh, Big Daddy said Taylor can afford a live scope after he left CT Ward. He bought him a new prop today and got his battery put in.
Big Daddy did?
Yeah, he got him a lithium battery, and he's saying that Taylor can go buy him one now. That's good stuff. Oh, man. Let's see if I'm missing the question. Oh, buddy. Let's see. This is a pretty good question. Scooter Childers got. He said the fish bite better when they're pulling lots of water at the dam or when the lake is rising. What do y'all think? What's y'all's opinion?
Okay. Here on Jordan, these black crappie like some water moving.
Do they?
Now, I'm going to tell you, a lot of people don't know this, but Lake Jordan is probably the one of the best spotted bass
Oh yeah.
fishing in the country. Like, people don't realize it. I mean, me and Shiloh were talking about it earlier. You had to not try to catch them.
Yeah.
Because
even when
they
you're
over
not-
there like down Crappie cracked out. They're like, oh yeah, jig.
That's crazy. Yeah, and what's funny, those bass guys get down there and struggle, and y'all saying y'all seeing spots everywhere.
Oh, Shiloh caught it. What, 4?
Yeah, I caught a 4.
And I caught it.
Spot.
Yeah, I caught a 280 spot, and I was intentionally trying not to catch them.
Yeah, if you throw past that crappie and there's fish past it that aren't crappie, you better burn it to that fish and then let it fall. Because if it's a spot past that crappie, he's gonna eat it.
Hey, you bass guys, you better be listening to that.
And they are like trains.
Yeah, if they're coming to it, they're gonna eat it. There's no.
And his buddy is following him, trying to get out of his mouth.
Yeah.
On the live scope, you can see like he'll get a spot. His buddy saw him eat. He's like, "Oh, I'm gonna get it out of his mouth." Just tap, tap, tap.
Crazy.
It's unreal.
Oh, Taylor, Jessica said the batteries ain't working in the jigs you gave her, Shane, because she ain't caught no fish. I gave Jessica some jigs, not Jessica on the show, but Taylor's wife, Jessica Ward. I gave her some jigs. Speaking of that, hold on. I forgot to. Here you go. This picture right here. Jessica caught that monster last weekend.
Oh yeah, that thing, that was a toad.
It's 16 and a half inches. She said that thing's got to be pushing 3 pounds.
That's
I
at
would
least
think.
it's at least 2.8.
Mm.
I
Look
would
at the
think
gun.
too. Uh-oh, I'm sorry, I hit it. That's a big fish, Jessica. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know what they did with it, but yeah, she sure caught it. She sure did.
Hey, Shane, we need to do a giveaway and get them some scales to weigh their fish.
Yeah, we sure do. Hey, have y'all seen the new Bubba scale? Y'all speaking of, have you seen
Yes,
the Bubba scale?
I actually got
I've used it.
I got to see it in person
I've
at
used it.
at Grenada,
Used it.
and you did.
We used it at Pickwick.
Okay.
You can always see the screen. That's a plus.
And it's
Hey,
brighter than the.
Oh, way brighter. And
Yeah.
instead of having to hit lock yourself, it automatically locks, and it always has your small fish pulled up. Like it's got an image next to your small.
Replace it. It'll replace
Yeah,
it.
it'll automatically.
All right,
replace
so we're going to talk about. Let's do this right quick.
Go ahead, bud.
This might not be for everybody that crappie fishes, but all right. So the scale that most people use is the Rapala. It holds 8 fish,
Mm-hmm.
and it goes up to 50 pounds. Some just only go up to 15. So the problems we have with those, and this everybody that crappie fishes tournaments, they use this scale. Well, when you pull the scale up and you're looking at the screen of it, it's always real light.
It
like
is. Yeah, the display's dim, right?
You have trouble seeing it, and then sometimes touching it's not real, doesn't work well, and oftentimes you have to turn it off, turn it back on. So Bubba has come out with one, and the only thing I saw on it that I didn't really like was the clip. That was the same clip that Rapala had.
Yeah.
So there could have been some improvements there.
But other than that, like it don't matter where you hold that screen, you can see it. It's
Yes.
all you can always see it.
And it always highlights your small fish. So you know which fish to kick out every time.
Mm-hmm. And it'll count how many fish you've weighed through the day.
That's awesome. So they've got the technology. That's the same people that make the knife, Bubba Blade, right?
Yeah, Bubba Blade. Yeah.
Okay.
Let me show it. All right. Hey, look, guys, this is it right here. I just hate
There
it.
you go. We can see that. That's nice.
Good. I just hate they took that little chicken shit hook that they had on the other one.
I got you.
Sorry for saying chicken
Oh my
shit.
God,
But
Hey, at least you're being honest, John.
yeah.
Is it the same clip as the Rapala?
Yeah, it is the same clip. We don't care for that, but you know, it's not touch screen on the Bubba. It's you move it around with the buttons.
Mm-hmm.
The one I played with out at Grenada, but everything I saw about it is remarkable.
Okay, I got you. Oh, Bill's asking a question here. I don't know. Does anybody fish old school way using a quill? I haven't used a quill since I was a dang kid.
Come on, quill
Anybody
board.
still use them? Huh?
That's the most sensitive cork you can ever fish on a damn brim bed. Heck yeah. I don't use them anymore, but
too young for that.
You shallow season.
Shallow don't know what
But
feeling.
hey, look. If you want to know if a brim is sniffing upon your cricket, that's how to do it.
Hey, the brim season's coming up. I guess. What do you think? You think the brim ought to be going on bed this month or next month? When you think, John?
Oh, this is Jessica's time to shine.
Here you go,
Because
Jessica. Talk to us.
I didn't want to fish this weekend
Because it's the full moon. We're gonna be on bed this weekend. We had to do the tournament.
And how big a brim bed did I find?
You talking about around the house?
Yeah, oh yeah.
I
So
got you.
we had like a lot going on. I was like, baby, I said, we ain't really gotta fish this tournament this weekend. I said, I've got this big monster brown bed. We can hit it. I mean, when I say big, I'm talking about like 200-300 beds. Yeah, oh yeah. Oh yeah. And she loves it. Like I do.
You go back.
Yeah.
They'll be there when you get to 8. They'll be there next week, Jessica. They'll be there next week.
Monday.
There you go.
One
That's
Monday.
awesome. Let me make sure we still got 62 people on here. I appreciate y'all staying on here, guys. I'm trying to make sure we didn't leave no questions. I'm sure we did.
Trouble.
Red worm soup.
Yeah.
Yeah, what do you use? Hey, what are you using brim fishing? Just red worms or what are you using, John?
I'm kind of like the bad guy. So I'll get like where I'm like upwind of them. I'll float crickets across their beds, and at the same time, I'm throwing a red worm and like dragging across some beds. I'm hitting like at both angles, and now we got live scope. I can like see where my crickets like barely floating across their beds. I mean, I'm the bad guy.
Hey, you trying to catch them? Hey, your buddy Ray's got a good question. We're going back to crappie fishing. We've been catching brim for a minute. Sorry about that, guys. Hey, we enjoy them shell crackers. I'm getting ready to go fish for some myself. When I'm going to Lake Talcott, I'm liable to find some, so I'm going to enjoy them. He said, what do y'all do when the fish slow down biting on structure? Y'all move on, downsize, baits? What is your first move if the fish kind of don't even chase your bait or whatever?
Just going to talk about, we had this experience last tournament.
We tried everything.
We tried everything. I mean, I don't know.
We tried that.
Oh, Pickwick?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They shut about 1 o'clock. They shut down.
Nothing.
But you found a different batch.
That's where I started catching them. I found them. I just keep trying different things.
Yeah, okay. But what he's asking, what do you do when they just like,
Yeah, when they quit biting on structure, like I said, they shut down. Your first thing is going to do is tie a different jig. I'm sure, first before you move on.
Head with it.
Yeah.
I that's what I'll do is I'll try 2 or 3 different things. If they quit biting, I'm going to the next fish, the next piece of structure. Just keep through it till I find fish that will act, become active. Now at Pickwick Wilson, like what John's talking about, I found a brush pile late in the day that was absolutely loaded with big fish. I finally got a reaction bite out of one of them with a long rod. But if I would have had enough 30 minutes, I probably would have slid off of it about 20 feet and started casting an 1/8 ounce jig at it and just working that jig through that pile just to see if I can get one of them to come out of it and fire.
Right.
Just giving them different presentations.
What a lot of people don't realize is like what came before you. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Yeah. So like you find a hot spot and you go there and the fish are there. Somebody might have been there before you and just absolutely drove those fish crazy.
Right. I've noticed that in Grenada, those stake beds, a lot of guys get on top of them and don't know what they're doing. And then you would see in there and those fish would scoot out the back door on you. If you didn't cast 50 feet of them, they would do that,
Well, and the later the year we go, like closer to summer and in the summer, it's going to get worse.
Yep.
Yeah, because summer fish are
2 or 3 a pile and move.
there you go. 2 or 3 a pile.
You got to cover a lot of water, Ray. That just like Shiloh said, he covered 2 creeks up and down both sides in the middle until you find the fish that want to act right,
And see, Ray's fishing the Coosa River. He's got to have plenty of stuff marked and bump and move.
Exactly. Hey, Greg. Greg's going to be on the show with us next week.
Come back an hour later.
He wants to know, do y'all, hey, Tim, do you tip your crappie jigs with minnows? Do y'all still do any tipping, any of y'all?
I don't tip. I mean, unless I'm in a tournament and I have to tip.
Certain areas, well, go back to Grenada. When you want that big profile, I mean, how often you can't find really a 4-inch tube jig other than a bass jig.
No.
So you'll take that 2-inch jig and throw a 3-inch minnow on the back of it, and then fish choke it. Now, that's the only place in the country that I'll tip.
Gotcha.
I do a lot of.
Hey, Tim's here with us, and he Coosa River, and if you can catch them during the summer on Coosa River, you're doing something.
Oh yeah.
So I'll ask him if he gives a few tips about what he does during the hot summer months.
Yeah, Tim, what do you do up there at Weiss Lake? Tim, PrappieKast guy, if you're just tuning in.
Split bobbers and minnows, and a lot of minnows.
A lot of minnows.
And a lot of spider rigging. You can do a lot of spider rigging. You can just move from pile to pile or stump to stump.
Right.
Keep going. Yep, just sit right on top of them. But I tried slip bobbers and on the same things as I've spider rigged on, and you'll catch just as many with it.
Right. That's awesome, guys.
You can run a string slip bobber 15 foot deep, you know.
Tim's saying he's sitting on till the attitude gets correct.
Yeah.
That's awesome. You're gonna have. We've had a good show, guys. We've been on here an hour. We got 70 people. Man, I appreciate all y'all tuning in here. Let's see. I got one more question. Let's see what Roger wants to know here. I know Smith Lake is a total different monster, but what would be a good way to start looking for crappie there in the hot summer months? That's a deep. I got Logan Johnson guys up there, Roger, a friend of mine. That's a deep lake. I don't go up there much, man. I wouldn't never tell you. I wouldn't know how to tell you even how to approach that lake. It's deep and clear. I know that. It's like Del Hollow shallow. What do you think in the summer?
Miles and 20 to 35 foot of water probably. I'm sure it gets a thermocline, so them fish aren't going to be below that thermocline.
Right.
So up on top of those brush piles, and just same thing. You're going to have to bump and run. You know, get you a set of 50, 60 brush piles, catch 2 or 3 each one, and keep moving. Keep taking through them.
They're going back to the wood. It's just a matter of time.
Yeah.
That's right.
I know Smith is clear, and there's a lot of black crappie in it. And they'll find a brush pile and make it their home. You know, they'll stay in that brush pile, and when they do leave it, they're not going to go far. They'll be around it, and then they'll come back to it in the afternoons and use that shade. So
all right, we haven't done our giveaway yet, Shane.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna give away. We're gonna have to put all these people on. Anyway, some people are asking about the hats. These hats are $20. Jacob Morgan's asking about them right now. We're gonna give two hats away to random comments on here. We're gonna put them in. What'd you say we're gonna put them in, John?
A randomizer.
Randomizer, okay. And whoever wins, I'll get a hold of you and mail you some hats. Ship them to you. I appreciate everybody tuning in. We've had.
All right, so I think we do another giveaway.
Here we go.
I'll do another poll out with Tim. Why not?
Sure.
All right, we'll do an outlaw crappie poll.
Here we go.
Another 5-footer. So it's gonna be me against shallow. So you got to pick my weight or whoever you think is gonna win. John Farmer and Jessica Farmer, or Shallow Chappelle.
Okay.
All right, you got to pick which one do you think is gonna win.
Okay.
And then you got to pick their weight.
I put my money on him.
No, or Tim PrappieKast is part. So
okay. So y'all two are fishing against each other. Whoever wins that, you gonna fish your weight?
Whoever. All right.
I guess when this ends, I'm going back to the lake.
Shallow's gonna win, of course.
Shoot.
So let me get this straight. I'm giving away 2 hats.
Today was the first day I've ever seen Jordan. So
I got you. So hey, let's get this straight, Johnny. So you're gonna give away Outlaw Rod, a 5-footer.
Palmer against this team. Whoever
That's right.
wins and gets the weight the closest.
I got you. Who wins?
Right,
and
gotta
the
pick
closest weight.
the slow leaks. That'd be me and Jessica. Get the champions, which would be Shallow.
Is there somebody else?
And Tim. Yeah,
I got it.
They're sitting on 14. This is.
That's awesome. So we're gonna give away 2 hats, and we're gonna give away another 5-foot Outlaw Rod per John and Jessica and Tim.
Another
We're gonna
5-foot
give one away.
outlaw.
So it is 7 fish one day, Destin. He's asking. They're having a tournament Saturday, so whoever wins between these, Jan and Jessica and Tim and Shiloh, and whoever gets the weight too. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, you got to pick the team that wins,
Okay.
or there's the head of the other team, and pick the weight. That'll be the.
Yeah, you're not talking about the winner. It's just between y'all four. So if whatever,
Just us.
I hope
Yeah,
it's
just
first
us.
and second. Hey, I hope it's first and second. So
I hope it is too.
Thank you.
Be nice.
Well, we're not going to talk. Hey, if you put aeronaut on there, you're automatically disqualified.
that's awesome. You post them on here,
No, we
Chad.
should
Post
go-
them in the comments. Hey, Chad wants to know 5 foot outlaw rod. Post whoever you think wins between John and Jessica and Tim and Shiloh. Whoever finishes ahead of each other.
Yeah, I mean, if you're the one picks us and we win, you win the rod. But
That's
you
right.
need to put a weight with it. It's
put
a
away with
one-day
it. That way
tournament,
it'd be the
so
deciding
it'll be-
factor in case somebody gets tied. That's right.
So if you guess them about Jessica and I, you need to be like 6 pounds, something like that. If you guess the Shiloh, you need to be like
4.5.
15 and a half.
yeah, Shiloh be like 15, something like that, you know.
There you go.
But
That's awesome,
if you
guys.
guess Eric Cagle or Aaron Knight, you automatically disqualified.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh man, let's wrap this thing
No,
up.
it's
We've been
just-
on here.
all
We've
right,
been
so
on
we-
here an hour. I appreciate everybody tuning in. If you have any questions about the giveaway or the hats, hey, message me. I'll try to go back and answer some questions I hadn't. CT Ward Power Sports, Alpha Plumbing, Lay Lake Sunset Cabin, and Alabama Metal Roofing Supply. Appreciate y'all sponsoring the show. Appreciate y'all again. Appreciate y'all being on here, Shiloh and Tim. You don't have to come on again. We're gonna try it again next Thursday. We're gonna have Gregory on here. We're gonna answer some fishing questions about fishing some ponds and some creeks and everything. He's a big bank fisherman. So y'all stay on here, John. Appreciate everybody tuning in. See y'all.
How about